What's going on, everybody? Quick update. Starting inside at, I guess we'll say Fruit Tree Central. It's only been a week, not even going to bother taking a look. It's going to be at least a month or two before even worried about anything that's going on in there. I did get the giant crimson tomato seeds from M.I. Gardner, so they're you get about 5-ish seeds in a pack, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, get a couple of them in some starting soil and get them started inside and see what happens. Other than that, no new exciting seeds. I'm pretty much got everything I need with the exception of like 1 or 2 bean seeds, and that's really it from that part of the world. Did a little trimming on the apple tree. Probably can't see it with the other tree and the fence in the back, but trimmed that down, the air layer that was on there, and I should have saved it and shown a picture, but it did absolutely nothing, so I don't know if it was too hot, if I didn't scrape it down enough, but figure give it another month for it to warm up. I'll start another air layer on there. The one Meyer lemon I think can be picked, so I'm just kind of waiting until I need it. You can see the height of the grass is pretty crazy, but it's still a swamp back there. I trimmed up the raspberry bushes, and everything else in the back is just kind of stagnant. There are a few limes on the lime tree in the back. Let's get this back into normal. So I cleaned up, I didn't pull everything out, but I chopped down all the Chinese broccoli. It wasn't doing anything but flowering and making a mess. I clipped all of the tomatoes. I'm guessing those won't grow, but I just clipped them, and we'll see what happens. You know, if it doesn't hurt anything, just leave it sit there. And I cleaned up the peppers. Nothing else special happening out here. I haven't gotten around to cleaning up the baby bok choy. I did pull a couple radishes out. They were okay. Not overly large, not overly tasty, but they were there. So, and then everything in here is just nothing, right? So, rosemary is just kind of hanging out. It's not something I use a lot. I've been trimming the green onions, which is the first tote. They're not very oniony, if that makes sense. And then the garlic's in the other one. I'm avoiding walking in here just because I dumped a bunch of water out of the buckets. So the snap peas and the snow peas actually have some blossoms on there. They're kind of just existing, so I'm just kind of leaving them, seeing what happens based on the cold. Right now it's about mid-50s, which is not bad for California winter, but it's been getting down into the low to mid-30s, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's at its coldest part and starts warming up. All the beans are basically dead. I think I talked about that before. And then there's some dingweeds that are popping up in here. As soon as it warms up, I'll direct plant some beans and see if I can't get those started early. Carrots are really the only thing that's growing well, and they're just kind of hanging out. They're not getting a ton of sun, even though they get sun out here. As I've talked about, it's been raining about 2 months on and off, so yeah, not a heck of a lot going on. Those are those cabbage plants that I started but I never transplanted, but they didn't die, so I'm just kind of leaving them there. I did trim the cabbage. There's some dead leaves around there. It's starting to head a little bit, but I just think it's too cold. I started them too late, but it was just an adventure. And the only other thing I plan on doing is I want to get a couple cuttings off of that blueberry plant, say that 10 times fast, and see how it roots. So that's the only other thing going on in the backyard swamp. Other than that, not much for updates, but yeah, thanks for tuning in.